Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. First, the headlines. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Excellency the Minister of Diwan of the Royal Court will open tomorrow the Sultan Qaboos Mosque in the Wilaya of Nizwa. The Ministry of Interior announces that the 25th of October is the voting date for the Shura Council 8th term elections. The Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council discusses the initial estimates of the State General Budget 2016. And the Sultanate stresses its support for the efforts by the International Atomic Energy Agency on peaceful nuclear technology uses in the world. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to Her Excellency President Michelle Bachelet of Chile on her country's independence anniversary. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Excellency Sayyid Khalid bin Hilal Al Busaidi, Minister of the Diwan of Royal Court, will open tomorrow the Sultan Qaboos Mosque in the Wilaya of Nizwa in the Governorate of Ad-Dakhiliyah. The new mosque was conceived as a regional-sized mosque in 2009. Being the spiritual and religious capital of Oman, Nizwa is a fitting location to be home to a major mosque, second only to the Grand Mosque in Muscat. The mosque is situated adjacent to the Nizwa Wadi. The building complex comprises of a main prayer hall which can accommodate 4,500 worshippers. The area available for external prayer allows for an additional 5,300 worshippers. A library is arranged on 2 floors, and a multi-purpose hall with a built-in perimeter seating and audio-visual facilities for lectures are also available. The prayer hall for ladies can accommodate 434 worshippers. The interior of the main prayer hall is 14 meters high, with the dome rising to an internal apex of 40 meters. The ceilings have specialist paintwork derived from local design traditions. His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of Interior, issued a decision announcing that Sunday, the 25th of October 2015, as the voting date for the Shura Council 8th term elections. As per the decision, all election centers in the Sultanate will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on October 25th, 2015. The Ministry of Interior affirmed that it has taken all necessary preparations and measures to ensure the success of the elections process and provide a healthy environment that would help voters cast their votes very smoothly. The primary estimates of the state's general budget for 2016 and oil prices alternatives were the center of discussion at the meeting of Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council at the premises of the Ministry of Finance in Muscat. The Council also dealt with the details of revenues and general expenditure, the foundations and plans on which the budget estimates were based. It also discussed the statement of the executive status for the current year's budget and the status of deficit and ways to finance it. The Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council also reviewed reports forwarded from the state's General Reserve Fund and Oman Investment Fund on their activities, investment returns and policies. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Darwish bin Ismail Lebloushi, Minister responsible for Financial Affairs and Deputy Chairman of the Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council. The Sultanate stressed its support for efforts by the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, on peaceful nuclear technology uses in the world. This came in a speech delivered by His Excellency Sheikh Dr. Badr bin Muhammad Al-Hinai, Sultanate's ambassador to Austria, during the works of the 59th round of the agency's General Conference. He expressed his thanks to IAEA for its assistance to the Sultanate as part of technical cooperation project to set up a national plan for preparedness and response to nuclear and radiation emergency as per the agency standards. He added that the work is continuing to put a strategy and roadmap to implement this plan. The Sultanate also affirmed the need to make the Middle East region free from nuclear weapons. It also welcomed the agreement on Iranian nuclear program, stressing the importance to implement it. It also called upon Israel to join treaty on the non-proliferation of nuclear weapons. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Royal Oman Police celebrates the opening of Police Services Building in the Wilaya of Al-Amarat. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The factory for polythene bags and plastic packaging was opened in a Rosail industrial estate under the auspices of His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masoud al-Sinaidi, Minister of Commerce and Industry. The opening ceremony was attended by some officials at the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, members of the German and Indian embassies, and those interested in such business. The opening of this factory, which is worth 8 million Omani riyals, came to provide job opportunities for the Omani youth as well as diversify national income means. It aimed to cover the local market's needs of the plastic products. The latest statistics by Public Establishment for Industrial Estates pointed out that the investment volume of the industrial estates exceeded 5 billion Omani riyals, 3 billion of which were investments and the other 2 billion were foreign investments. The contribution percentage of the industry sector in the Sultanate's domestic product during the last 5 years reached 12%. In a statement to Oman Radio and Television, His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Masoud al-Sinaidi, Minister of Commerce and Industry, said that the Sultanate welcomes foreign investments, particularly those using high-profile technology and recruiting Omanis. He explained that the packaging industry is a promising industry which targets the domestic market in addition to the Indian and African markets. He also affirmed many food factories in the African countries and other GCC states would like to import packaging materials from the Sultanate. He pointed out that Samail Industrial Estate is now a destination for many factories that want to expand. The Public Authority for Investment Promotion and Exports Development, ITHRA, announced that Omani Products Exhibition OPEX in its 5th station will be in the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa. It aimed to diversify the export channels of the Omani products in addition to enhance the local exports as well as introduce the agents and businessmen in this field. It also came to explore more promotion opportunities in the Ethiopian market in particular and African markets in general. The exhibition in its last station in Jeddah contributed to the achievement of the goals of Omani exports through the participation of more than 120 companies. It also witnessed signing various agreements of commercial exchange between Omani businessmen and their Saudi counterparts. The Ministry of Health organized a workshop on setting up the operational plan of the 9th five-year plan of health development in the Directorate General for Health Services in the Governorate of North Batna. It was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Ali bin Masoud al-Busaidi, Wali of Saham. The workshop included researches, studies and discussions on the health programs and developments listed in the 9th five-year plan in the Sultanate. It also focused on the national health policies that match with the requirements of the latest developments in this field. The Royal Oman Police today celebrated the opening of Police Services Building in the Wilaya of Al-Amirat under the patronage of His Excellency Dr. Ibrahim bin Ahmed Al-Kindi, CEO, Oman Establishment for Press, Publication and Advertising. The ceremony was attended by Major General Sulaiman bin Muhammad Al-Harthi, Assistant Inspector General of Police and Customs for Administrative and Financial Affairs, His Excellency Sheikh Dr. Yahya bin Sulaiman Al-Nadabi, Wali of Al-Amirat, senior ROP officers, sheikhs and citizens. Now for the general weather forecast. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the Sultanate with chances of cloud accumulation along with rainfall over the Hajar Mountains and the nearby areas, as well as chances of low clouds and fog over the coastal areas of the Arabian Sea. Winds will be easterly to northeasterly light to moderate along the coasts of Sea of Oman, while it will be southerly to southeasterly light to moderate along the rest of the Sultanate. Seas along the coasts of Arabian Sea will be moderate with a maximum wave height of 2 meters, and for the rest of the coasts it will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Excellency the Minister of Diwan of the Royal Court will open tomorrow the Sultan Qaboos Mosque in the Wilaya of Nizwa. The Ministry of Interior announces that the 25th of October is the voting date for the Shura Council 8th term elections. The Financial Affairs and Energy Resources Council discusses the initial estimates of the State General Budget 2016. And the Sultanate stresses its support for the efforts by the International Atomic Energy Agency on peaceful nuclear technology uses in the world. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.